Welcome back to another Abs Daily News with the hockey coach Joe Cole Frenchy. Episode number 49. We have a lot of news about the Montreal Canadiens, so don't go nowhere. Let's start about episode 49. First of all, we're going to talk about Brendan Gallagher. We're going to talk about two departures as the coaches for the Montreal Canadiens. The trade bait is Jody Miller. The prospect NHL is Lion Holmgren. And at the end, we're going to talk about some update for the NHL playoff 2022. Today, guys, Brendan Gallagher, 12 years ago, he was drafted 2010. He was a 5th round, a 147 overall. He played so far, guys, 638 game, 194 goal, 187 assists for 381 points. He's been in this league for 10 years now. He has 6 seasons of 19 goals and 2 seasons over with 30 goals. And Abs history is right now number 34. Most a player play most a game and 27 with the most goal and Montreal Canadiens. When you think about Gallagher, guys, you talk about longevity. You talk about a guy gave everything. Every shift has the logo on his heart. He have a passion about the game, but the most important thing, he loved to play for the Montreal Canadiens. A lot of discussion recently about, do you believe he's going to be the captain for the Montreal Canadiens? Whatsoever he is or not, he lead by example on ice or off ice. It's not about his stature because he's only 5'9", but he played like a 6'6" on the ice and how he keep his composure on the off ice. Unfortunately, in the last 3 years, he composed with many injuries that put him to take some downside of his offensive, unfortunately. And I believe right now, the most important things for him during his offseason, what we heard, he worked a lot on his cardio. He take time to recovery. It was not been easy for him with COVID and injuries, lack of the recovery between the end of the season, last season, and the beginning of the season. I believe is the one of them suffer the most. Now, I'm going to give you what happening with the Montreal Canadiens on the NHL draft and the reason why Gallagher is special for the Montreal. In the last 15 season in the Montreal Canadiens, Gallagher is the only one been 4 round and the 7th round and play over 250 game for the Montreal Canadiens. So many pick. The Montreal Canadiens are not draft great players between round number 4 to round number 7. Compared to Panthers, Devils, Oilers, they find a way to have players play that level for their organization. So just give you an idea, the Montreal Canadiens, more under Marc Bergevin, the failure to draft great players and the failure to develop them. I think this is a lack of the way where the Montreal Canadiens has to be better in the future. Now, if you consist talking about Gallagher, he have a contract of 6 years at $6.5 million per year. Now he still have 5 to go, but his role changed inside the Montreal Canadiens. When I'm talking about the last couple of years, he played with Dano and with Tatar. And he was really about to shut down the opponent team. Whatsoever, he still performed, but not the same way he was before. And I think that's hurt his offensive side. I believe he can bounce back in 2022. I still believe he can have a great year. So leave me a comment below this video. Tell me what you think about Brendan Gallagher with the Montreal Canadiens. Now, 2 big major departures for the Montreal Canadiens happening in the last 48 hours. First of all, look, the sources are very good. The Chicago Blackhawks announced they're going to hire as a head coach Luke Richardson. Richardson was with the Montreal Canadiens in the last 4 years as an assistant coach. Played over 20 years in NHL, 1,400 games. And Richardson was really well loved by many players inside the organization of Montreal Canadiens. And also we heard Sean Burke, the director of goalie committee, whatever you call them, leave for the Vegas Golden Knights. Here's my thinking about that situation. First of all, it's a big loss for the Montreal Canadiens, but it's a good timing. I will tell you why. First of all, there are many of them are available. I'm talking about assistant coach in NHL. So the pick good one, it's really a good timing for the Montreal Canadiens. What I believe they should have mindset of coach thinking aggressive in defense, zone coverage, quick transition, high tempo offensive. The style what Martin Saint-Louis likes to apply for the Montreal Canadiens, and with a young core Montreal is going to get in the next 3-4 years, I believe that coach maybe not have a lot of experience, but I still believe the Ken Hughes, the Jeff Gordon, since they are with Montreal Canadiens, they thinking out of the box. Nobody knew they would hire Martin Saint-Louis, and they figure out something. So still have Brunette, Kevin Dean, Mark Ritchie, Earl Simonson, maybe Larry Robinson, or maybe other are available with experience. But do not be surprised at some point the Montreal Canadiens find a way to bring some people we never thought they're going to helping them to get better. Today, the trade bait is JD Miller. 29 years old, 99 points last season, guys. He carried on one more year at $5.5 million. The last 3 years, he have an average of 1 point per game. But the biggest question we heard around the league is he stay or not? Why? Because the Vancouver Canucks, whatsoever, they have a couple of money on the salary cap, are not really flexible to get more high contract. First of all, they need to figure out with Bo Horvat and also a Barzard become RFA. So at some point, they will not have enough money to cover every one of them. Miller is the oldest player between three of them. I believe he will request a minimum of $8 million per year. He's going to be 30 years old. That's something the Vancouver consider possible now on his last year of his contract to make a trade for Miller. The return is going to be paid off for the Canucks. We're thinking about the New York Rangers. We know them, they're looking for a couple of center because possible Strome and Andrew Coop leave the building. Carolina, possible Vincent Trocek could also go to another destination. The Flyers, they are looking for add more great player inside their team with Tortorella now. The Dallas Star is possible at some level, but for me, the Washington Capitals. Without now Nicholas Backstrom, they need someone to add, and this organization, a solid center. I think Miller could fit very well with the Washington Capitals. Now, the NHL prospect guy, Liam Holmgren, is going to be eligible for the draft 2022. Elite prospect put him 13. The draft prospect put him 20. Projection. Athletic website 14. The Hockey National Show, we believe, is going to be 16. Listen, his ranking as a skating is 76, shooting 78, hands 73, IQ 75, physicality pretty good 75, and also force is defensive is 76. Let's give you another perception for the projection for elite prospect ranking. Skating, you can see 5.5 with same for the shooting and the puck angling, 6 for physical, passing, and hockey sense. He played last season in the J20 with 30 games. He had 58 points. Played on the Sweden Hockey League Professional, 25 game, only 2 points. And the World Championship, he played 6 games. He has 9 points. They consider him a little bit like a JD Miller we just talked about at Timo Meier. Now, my thinking for him, for Liam Holmgren, 6'1", left winger, 160, shoot on the left. Very great on two ways. Compete all the time. Play physical. He have a great shot. What you need to get better for me is creativity with or without the puck and his strength. I think it will be good to get some muscle mass for sure and win his battle. So it'll be interesting to follow with Liam Holmgren. Finally, about him, Atlantic website gave a little bit more information about him. So I suggest you guys to take a time to read about Liam Holmgren. And finally, guys, the Stanley Cup final. Wow, 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 wow. I'm speechless. The Tampa Bay Lightning and Colorado beat the Colorado Avalanche. Game number 5 by a score of 3-2. And now we have a game Sunday. Game 6 in Tampa Bay. The Colorado lead the series 3-2. But what a game by Tampa Bay when everybody was ready to celebrate the Stanley Cup in Colorado. But Tampa Bay said, no, it's not over yet. So it'll be interesting to watch the game number 6. Of course, we're going to do the live stream play-by-play. Here we go, guys. This complete a little bit longer, the episode number 49. Hopefully you enjoy it. But before we leave, we invite you, don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the show. Of course, leave me a comment about everything we talk about during the episode number 49. And yes, you have greatness inside of you. Have an amazing, blessing day, everybody.